Remember Dragon Slayer? Oh yeah, I just played Dragon Slayer the other day. I have a oh crap. I went to a retro arcade. Well, not the other day, but the last time I went to retro arcade, they had Dragon Slayer and Space Ace. Man, that was a revolution actually. I mean, for LaserDisc, think about that. In the early '80s, like for younger people, they probably don't know what that is, but that was incredible. It did Don Bluth Studios, who did all the animation. I was still blown away how they had that technology. Yeah, way ahead of its time. Yeah, for sure, Brody. I mean, oh oh crap, man. Well, it's a good thing, Rody, that you are you have experience with real gaming, in my opinion. So it's good to talk to people about that because not only were they part of our childhood, but it's also part of history. And I know for some people they might not see a lot of importance in that, but as large as the as large as gaming is nowadays and how it's normal now to see when it started, to live there when it started. Like my very first game system was a Atari. You know, I didn't have the. I don't think I had the 2600. I had the 5800. Eventually, I did get a 20. No, I didn't have the original 26. Well, my friends had it, but they were rich, so with the wood panel and everything. Abigail. Okay, yeah, Japanese version's definitely different. I don't remember fighting this guy in the home version. Let me see. What taxes are putting places out of business? I love roller skating, bowling. Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Arcade machines and rollers. Roller derby. Roller skate. God, what am I saying? Yeah, roller skates. I can't even remember how to say it anymore. But yeah, that definitely. You go eat pizza, go roller skate. At the roller skating rink. That's what I meant to say. And play your arcade games. And then at least in my age, like girls would be there, and so, you know, you would be there with your friends, showing off, playing games, and having a good time. Uh, y- yeah, yeah, it's just been really hard. I don't know if I mean for the places that still have retro arcades, I think it's really awesome. Yep, me too. Played Centipede, Millipede. I was at the laundromat a lot. Sometimes I would like skip school. Me and my friends just go skip school to play some games. But nowadays, I don't even know what kids skip school for anyway. But that was worth it. Oh man, what's another one? Well, everybody knows Space Invaders, but the one game that I did enjoy around that time, which I did play at the laundromat, was Gyrus from Konami. I played that a lot. It was different, instead of just Space Invader style. It was like a rotating style. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's made by Konami. It was really fun, and you would just rotate around the screen, kind of like Tempest. They're very similar in that respect, but I like Gyrus better. Uh, Crap. Wow, this is good for stream. Thanks, Brody, for being on. This is a good test for the Rumble stream, but at the same time, you get to, have somebody talk about retro gaming. That's always fun. Uh, Crap. And like Centipede and Millipede, actually, like, I don't know. What was the difference? I think Millipede was faster or something. Oh, yeah. Or maybe like somebody's shop, like you probably remember, Rody, like some of these owners, of these arcade places or restaurants or whatever, they're not supposed to let kids in, but like sometimes you meet somebody cool who works there, or somebody who's older, like a teenager or something, and they'll just let you in, even though there's like drinking and stuff in there. That I don't think that would happen today, but back then, yeah, it's normal, you know. Oh, okay. Okay, now we're about to go to the. Is it close to the final? Man, you gotta admire the graphics on this game, man. I'm still. Oh crap! I'm getting. Oh, oh, there was a. Oh, she coded both of those games. Oh wow, that's awesome. And you know, back then I mean, it wasn't common to have female programmers, you know. So that's a big thing, and she did both games, so that makes sense. They were fun. I just sucked at them. I'd always get killed. Oh, oh God. Oh man, just kicking my butt, man. You know, back then it wouldn't be uncommon for a single developer to, you know, do the games, you know? It's not like today where you could have like potentially teams of hundreds of people. And man, if you think about it today, it's like it's astronomical. Like some games are like 100 plus million dollars to develop and probably close to that to market it as well. It's just mind blowing. Ah, God, this Japanese version is harder. I mean, it's fun though. I don't care. It's still fun. She did the box art and the cabinet art too. Wow, man, Atari, dude. Nolan Bushnell, man. If for anybody who doesn't know little history, like what me and Rody are talking about here, there's a lot of history here, and you would only know that if you were around that time or if you're really into it. But anyway, back then, Atari, founded by Nolan Bushnell, he also founded Chuck E. Cheese. So I'm still sure there's still some Chuck E. Cheese around, but he was the one who really brought gaming to the masses, okay? And I think everybody remembers at least anybody who lived around that time, remembered the game crash around 1985, somewhere around there. You know, Atari was just, at one point, you know, I think a lot of people thought they were too big to fail, you know, but they didn't have good quality control and they were just flooded with really horrible games. And the most famous or infamous was E.T. And I think that was developed in a few weeks, you know, from one programmer. One programmer did all that, if I remember correctly. And they were obviously trying to cash in on the huge success of E.T. And man, that game was horrible. I'm not gonna lie, it was so bad. I was really excited because as a kid, you didn't have the internet. And if you think about Atari, this was even like older than that. So you didn't really have a lot of game magazines or whatever, right? And so, you know, like if a game came out, you could really only go by the box art and the screenshots or, you know, the game pictures on the back of the box, you know? And E.T., man, it's like, oh yeah, I definitely want to play E.T., you know, I want to buy it, you know, because I love the movie. Yeah, but then when I got it, God, I mean, even as a kid, you know, you would think, they wouldn't care, but that game was just so horrible. And I don't blame the developer or the designers or whatever. They only had a few weeks to do it. And that led to the whole downfall of gaming at that time. I mean, it was a serious crash, and it wasn't until a little company named Nintendo came along. They basically saved the gaming industry. You know, if Nintendo didn't come along, I don't know where we'd be in gaming right now. You know, I really don't. I mean, eventually somebody would have came, but Nintendo saved gaming. If the game took 7 weeks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can you imagine? Man, dude, that's a lot of pressure. And you gotta remember that gaming was not this multi-bazillion dollar industry that it is today. And so, like, I would say a lot of these creators, developers, they weren't getting paid for all the success that they brought. Yeah, Atari was the only way for consoles. Yeah. I also had a Commodore. You know, eventually my parents were able to save enough money. My friend had a Commodore 64. That was incredible. And then, you know, I kept bugging my parents, and eventually they saved up enough money to get me a Commodore 128, and that was awesome. But obviously it wasn't portable or anything, but that was an experience. And I played like Kung Fu on that. I had quite a few floppies. Most of it's borrowed from our friend. He had a lot of games. Kung Fu was awesome on the Commodore. We had to play it on floppy disk. It's a big floppy disk. And then one of my favorite games for anybody who had a Commodore was the Bruce Lee game. That was really fun. It was like Bruce Lee and this sumo wrestler. Look it up if you're curious what that is. All right. Mr. X. No, That's Streets of Rage. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and if I remember correctly, the Super Nintendo version didn't have all the levels, so it was shorter. Oh, crap, man. I was getting killed. And whenever I had my Atari 5800, it had this controller with a whole bunch of buttons, you know? And that wasn't something that was uncommon. I had some other friends who had a Colecovision. That wasn't common, at least for me. I only knew one person who had it. And we played Donkey Kong on that. Well, Mario Brothers. But Donkey Kong, yeah, Donkey Kong. Oh, crap. So what were you saying? You remember that Atari screwed over Nintendo, so they partnered with Teddy Ruxpin Maker to get the NES on the shelves? Oh, man. For anybody who doesn't know who Teddy Ruxpin is, it was, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, Rody, it was a teddy bear. Was that it? Yeah, Teddy Ruxpin. So, wow. That's interesting. I don't even remember that. Man. And let me see. What? Oh, crap. For serious YouTubers, check out TubeBuddy, the premier tool news at geekoutdoors.com. Get more done today by checking out the affiliate link in the description area below.